Hi y'all, we're the Helbergs. Let's take you on a tour of Helberg Barbecue.
Welcome to our restaurant.
So when you walk in, we send the line around this way. We designed it to have a lot of indoor line waiting space. And so just some cool things about it. This was from our groundbreaking, our son's shovel. It's still got the dirt on it. And then just important people in our life and the process of getting this place constructed all signed this live edge that were there in attendance. So cool little piece.
Yeah, so we got some benches right here if you want to wait for your friends in line, because we don't want people to take up seating. I mean, this is great waiting area, both for in the line and just for waiting for your group to go through, because barbecue times itself out. Yeah. You will get your seat when your food's done.
Yeah, and we noticed like we have, especially on like really busy weekends, you know, if there's like elderly or kids or something like that, that's typically the populations that we, you know, struggle with trying to keep everybody happy if there's a long line. And so we wanted to make sure that like once the line gets back this far, like there's an option to kind of sit so you're not having to stand as long.
That and we have hand menus.
Yeah.
So this has been a great tool for people as they're in line, and then one of us hopefully has the ability to walk through the line and discuss questions and just go through the menu with them, especially if they've never been here.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff on the menu that we'll get into. So there's a little bit more explanation required and kind of the process of ordering, because we have kind of a unique ordering process. So, and then coming down the line.
Well, so touch on the market.
Yeah, we're very adamant about adding this element, and it's very scarce right now. We haven't like stocked it yet. But or at least for this week. But this meat market has been a project of ours for a long time that we've just kind of dreamed up, and just having like a dedicated space to do some of our fun projects with like house-made sausages and bacon and burgers and stuff like that. But then also like, you know, leftover racks of ribs or whole briskets or things like that. Especially around holidays, people can come in and grab something like that if they miss like our cutoff deadline for ordering whole cuts of meat. And so already it's been like, as long as we've had stuff in here, people are buying it. It's been pretty successful. So anything you can do to reduce waste in this business is huge. Yeah. So that's been it's been a useful tool for us to have like a dedicated space for people to see that.
We also sell our merch and our spices in here as well. Yeah. Another local brand, Sendero Provisions. We do a lot of merch with them. We have a collaboration with them. They're great friends of ours. They're right down the road from here.
They're our neighbors.
We have our Sendero shirts and hats. We sell our all-purpose rub as well. And in the process of getting our sauces bottled.
Yeah. That's the market. Continuing to kind of play with ideas on how we can offer more stuff in there, maybe some like local makers, more collaborations. We want to kind of keep it focused on local brands around here that we can partner with. So turning our attention to the journey wall, this is you know, another thing kind of designed to keep you a little bit distracted while you're waiting in line, and also tell the story of Helberg. So starting with like pictures of our first trailer and pop-up days.
In California, actually.
Yeah, those are California pop-ups. You can see I got the long hair still. And then like moving into our first trailer.
That was our first pop-up here in Waco on April 13th of 2018.
Yeah, so now 7 years in Waco in business. That first trailer got us through the first 13 months or so of business. And as you go along through our journey here, we've picked out pieces of the scriptures that really align with that season of life and business for us. And so that sort of tells the story, and it's fun to kind of like, you know, get people to hopefully look up those references and maybe be encouraged by them. So then you get into us moving into our first brick and mortar. That was what the space looked like before we moved in. It was literally just an empty warehouse building. And there's our son, Wayne. He would have been 2 months old at the time. And so then we just converted that place into the the old Helberg, the very DIY space that it was. So that is the place that burned eventually. And then you've just got sort of like the story of us kind of cutting our teeth really in the business, like first brick and mortar. We had just made the top 25 best new joints list for Texas Monthly in 2019. Yep. So we started really doing more business, more volume.
Getting to meet Tyler Harp.
Yeah, our buddy Tyler Harp and the collab that we did with him. I was telling you earlier about the whole hog cook that we did together. And just some like fun memories from that space over the years.
Yeah. And Brett's.
Yeah, Brett's.
When he had his festival at his place.
Yeah, or that might have been his grand opening. I don't know.
No, that was not grand opening. That was the festival, Brett Fest. Yeah, that was the first Brett Fest.
Back when we all had the time and energy to like get away and do fun stuff like that. more than I think this is pre-Troubadour era.
This was.
So we didn't have Troubadour festivals then yet. So I think at that point in time it was just Red Dirt and then Texas Monthly Fest, which we were not a part of yet. And then so it was just fun times to get everybody together. I mean, Danny and Brenda came out from California, from Heritage. You got Carrie there. You got John Brotherton.
The Rosslers.
The Rosslers.
Arnis,
Brad.
Came
all the way out from Lubbock. But yeah, and then throughout here you can see like our son growing up. Right here he's 6 Cool Whips tall. And so throughout some of these pictures you can just start to see Wayne kind of grow up. Like that was I think on one of our wedding anniversaries, and then with Uncle Brett at Texas Monthly Festival. There's us cooking some ribs together one day. I was asking him if he thought they were done yet. And then Baylor tailgates.
We're proud athletic sponsors at Baylor.
Yeah.
And so we cook out there for athletics and then also get to go to games with our son, which is such a blessing to be able to do.
If we still have the energy to actually go to the game. We usually end up leveraging our football tickets to get people to help us on that catering.
Yep. And
then we go home and watch the game from our couch. We do go to most of the basketball games, though. We're more basketball fans, at least right now. So
this is, that's one of my teachers actually from high school that came by. Super sweet relationship with him. He baptized both of us in Israel in 2016.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so really great dear friend. It was cool to get to show him the old space while it was still around.
Yeah.
One of the probably coolest moments in our business history, last year we got to go to the Food and Wine Festival in Aspen, Colorado. So took a couple of our friends with us up there to help us out. We were there serving with Balcones Distillery here in Waco. So bringing a taste of Waco up to Aspen, Colorado, that was really cool. And then you get to the fire and the rebuild. So that's actually a picture the night that it was obviously still burning. And then
I took that photo.
Yeah, Yvette took that photo, and then the cleanup. We didn't hire any like restoration company or anyone to come clean any of that up. We literally just got our staff together and friends and family, church friends and stuff to come help us tear the trailer apart and clean up the building as much as we could. There's one of our hard hats from the cleanup and demo days. And then our groundbreaking.
With our contractor.
Our contractor Abdias. And then just some like building progress and one of our like news stories from when we were running the drive-through during the rebuild process.
And then as soon as we got framing up, we asked the community if they wanted to come and write verses along the walls and the framing. So
all throughout all of the studs. I mean, first of all, we buried a few Bibles in the foundation before we poured concrete. And then we had just a lot of friends and family and community members, people that have supported us over the years, that came out before we wrapped all the walls, before all the drywall went in. And so this whole place is just marked with God's word, which is just really special to us. And we feel very blessed and honored to have this place and really just to lift it up to him and say like, hey God, this is your place. Whatever you want us to do here, you're gonna move in this place. And
we're only still here because of him.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
like ultimately
our faith is the whole reason that any of all of this has happened, and we've been carried through to this point. So that's really our mission here, and hope that anybody that passes through here can be encouraged.
Yeah.
So moving along the line, we've got like our 86 list stays here so that you know what we're out of.
This is a special section. Last year at the Texas Monthly Fest, the Feejuses, Aaron and Patrick, had everyone at the festival sign a Highway 6 sign. We had a highway sign at our restaurant before that got destroyed.
It was lost in the fire.
It was lost in the fire.
It was a Texas Interstate sign, and we would have other pit masters from around the state or the country. Whenever they'd come through to eat, we would have them sign the interstate sign. And so when that was lost to the fire, the Feejuses heard about that, and they surprised us with this special gift at Texas Monthly Fest last year. And it was just like a really sweet and powerful moment. The fraternity of the barbecue world is
very special.
Very special, and a big, driver to, getting us back on track. We also have a picture of Mal and Arnis. They started the GoFundMe for us after the fire. Didn't even ask. It was just like, hey, we're going to do this for you guys. And so really without the support of our friends, or in this industry, we wouldn't have been able to make it through and get to this place. So,
and last but not least, we have John up here.
Of course, JB. John was a great friend to many in this world, and an encourager and inspirer of many. And I had fond memories of going and cooking with him early mornings on his Buellies down in Pflugerville, and hanging with his crew like the first year that we were open, and just kind of
learning,
seeing a different way, like how they did stuff. And he just welcomed me with open arms and was a complete open book, and he was like that to everybody. So
he kind of glued this. I felt like he was like a glue in our
definitely
community.
Yeah.
So. And I mean, even Brenda, Wayne always was like a magnet towards Brenda.
Yeah.
He would always give her hugs regardless of how often he had seen her. And they just radiate such a wonderful presence.
Yeah. We were gifted this Beauty from Ashes graphic. I don't even know what this really is, but acrylic. It was made for us. Yeah, this acrylic. A customer just gave that to us on our grand opening weekend. We thought that was really sweet, so we hung it up here. Then we get into the view into the pit room. This is becoming more and more common these days. People love to see the behind the scenes, and I just think this is a really cool, maybe one of the coolest like pit room views in the state. We've got quite a collection of smokers in there. Mobergs,
which we'll show you later.
Yeah, Mobergs, M&M rotisseries. We had to get creative with the way that we vented the rotisseries through the roof, and I really like it because it kind of looks like almost like Hellboy, like the way they have to curve. It's just like I think it looks cooler than having him go straight up. And then that huge Texas flag in there, you may have recognized it from some of the pictures in the old shop. So that flag actually survived the fire, and we kept it and hung it up kind of as a memento from the old space, and just sort of like that Texas resilience, smoke stained and everything still going in there.
We got some drink troughs. One of the special things in here is Pop's Lemonade, a local lemonade brand. They're great people also, and we're just so thankful to be able to partner with them and lift their brand up too.
Same with Milk Bottle Cookies. These are our friends, kind of neighbors. They live around here too, and they make just like fantastic cookies. And we make our banana pudding here in house, but this kind of helps ease the load a little bit on the desserts. Like we're definitely no Evie Mays or Truth with their dessert programs, at least yet.
Millers.
Millers, yeah. Shout out Millers, my gosh. So we're not there yet. I don't know if we will ever be there, but if we just saw an opportunity like, hey, we can maybe take a little bit of pressure and stress off of our kitchen and
support
another local brand that we love. So, and then you get to ordering.
So when you walk up to the line, first you'll have your sides, both cold and hot, and you're also going to order kitchen items. So on the menu at the very top, how we have it listed is from the kitchen. These are all the things you're going to order from your sides person as well, because they're going to send a ticket back to the kitchen, and those items will get brought out to you. The newer items that we have are some steak frites, which is...
tallow fries, reverse seared, smoked steak that we kind of rotate. Right now we're doing Terrace Major. We've done flank. We're going to mess around with kind of just like whatever's a good steak at a reasonable price that we can cook really well. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff on here though. Like we won't go through everything, but we have some specialty sandwiches. We have a smash burger, hot chicken sandwich, things like that that have been successful Saturday specials of ours in the past that we basically just kind of like, we spent a long time having a different Saturday special and just creating new things every single week
and seeing what the responses were like.
Yeah, we just cherry picked the most successful ones, the ones that got the best feedback, and the ones that we felt like we could do on a daily basis and execute really well, really consistently.
Yeah.
We've added all that to the menu. Feel free to check it out on our website and whatnot, and definitely try the new stuff because it's really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where our ordering process gets a little bit more unique, is like there's a combination of ordering things that come out of the kitchen, but we retain the meat market style aspect. So you're not just ordering from a register and all of your food gets brought out to you. There's
We're a hybrid model.
Yeah, it's split. So you get some things that are coming from the kitchen, and then you still retain kind of the counter service, almost cafeteria style, like, you know, order your sides, order your meat. We do meat last just so that everything's hotter, fresher. And that way, like when we're really busy and we get trays backed up, we don't have sliced meat sitting on trays getting cold. So yeah, we've got a lot more capacity nowadays for colds and hots. So we have added a couple of sides to the menu as well. We have a baked potato salad now, so we have 2 different potato salads. And then seasonally, we rotate either collard greens during the winter months or watermelon salad that we're doing now.
Which is my favorite.
Yeah,
I eat it every
staff
day.
favorite, really. We eat a lot of that stuff. Really great, you know, fresh watermelon, lime simple syrup, blueberries, feta cheese, tahini. It's just a great, refreshing bite. So.
And then we have 2 cutting blocks, which is something that we were really adamant on having in this line when we designed it, was that all the sides go through that one person, 1 to 2 people, but then you split at 2 meat cutters and 2 registers to help get this line moving more efficiently. And we've seen great success in that, especially starting at opening weekend, just having the 2 lines. And then at the very end, we have a pre-order line. So anyone that calls in early or puts an order in online, they'll head to right at the corner where it says pre-order pickup on the wall. But yeah, having these 2 cutting stations, everyone being able to see their weights again, and you know, getting to explain that to people that ask, do you have plates? I'm like, no, but you get to tell my cutter I want more or less of that meat, and you see exactly what that weight is on the scale. Bringing it back to how we used to do it it's been really nice.
You also upsell a lot, and you get people to try stuff they've never tried before.
You can sample things.
Yeah, we get to hand out little samples of pork steak, and you know, get everybody addicted to that and whatnot. This is Nathaniel and Jill. Say hi, wave. These are a couple of our managers, so the heartbeat of what goes on up here. Little like upgrades that have made such a huge difference for us, like actually having heat lamps above our blocks, and like warming drawers underneath that save us seconds, like precious seconds on every single guest interaction, transaction that helps
and grease transfer too. Like
speeds up the line, keeps things cleaner, and is overall just like a smoother, more efficient way for us to run through. And these are all things that we've been able to really plan and think over the years. Contrary to what a lot of people would think, because of the timing of the fire, the design and construction of this building wasn't like hastily thrown together as a response to the fire. It was actually something that we had been planning for years. We bought this land 4 years ago and just sat on it, kind of waiting for the next step. We figured we were going to outgrow that space, especially the parking lot over there. And so we were weighing out different options between moving or building. And so throughout, the process of designing this place was really like a 3-year process, and we had
made a lot of changes.
Yeah, Yvette and I designed it ourselves. We redid things over and over again. We visited a bunch of different places like Truth, like Evie Mae's, Brotherton, Regal's, like all of our friends' places, and got to see how they run their operation, things that they like, that they didn't like.
The pros and cons, things that they wish they did differently.
And also watching these videos too of the tours that, different spaces, saying, ooh, I like that. Like that makes a lot of sense, And so being able to find a really good balance of like what's going to make us work most efficiently, and that's going to be nice for our staff, and then also for the guests too. Like, how can we give them a great experience from the time that they set foot on the property until they leave? So that's the culmination of this whole thing. And then really the rest of kind of front of house here, pretty self-explanatory. We've got drinks, bread,
some posters of Barbecue Fest and Brett Fest.
Yeah, Barbecue Fest, the different Texas monthly festivals. We actually got a couple of those from Reed Guess because we didn't have them for some reason. I don't know what happened
Or they got
to them.
destroyed in the fire.
Or they were destroyed in the fire. So shout out Reed Guess. Thank you for letting us take those.
We have the iconic cow, which survived the fires on the other side of the building. A friend and myself
was
cut
actually part of the wall,
Yeah.
so you can see where we sawzalled it out.
Yes, we did. We
Cut
ripped it out and sawzalled it. It was a great combination of how we got that out as fast as we did, because half of the building was already demoed by the time we got it out.
And then other things too, like this canvas story that was done by so both of these are pieces of art really done by our friend Cade Kegeris, who is a dear friend of ours and whose father, Marvin, does all of our woodwork in here. And then so those two things, and as well as all the local school flags up there are...
Which we're always here to collect more flags.
Yeah.
So
we got a few more to put up.
Yeah.
But those all came from the old spot that were saved from the fire and cleaned up as best we could.
Something that is very special to this building is...
Yeah, probably the most unique and maybe like the coolest thing in here.
Is Packy's painting at the very end of this hallway. With a little bio of Packy underneath it, of the Tootsie painting of Snowden. We are very honored to have this painting here and get to hang it up and let everyone see it and read a little bit about Packy in the process. But we didn't know where we were going to put this, and then we looked down this hall and we had nothing planned down here. And we're
the
like,
light
hey,
was already there, and we were like, man, that's got to be the place
that's where it goes.
It's kind of safe back here. It's not in a high traffic area. But that painting we've had for a few years now, and it's been really special to us and special to the barbecue community too. I know not a lot of people have seen that painting or know about it. Not a lot of people knew that we had it, and it was sitting in our office at home for a long time, and I was just really looking forward to finding a special place for it in here where for those who know, they can see it, and it's kind of like an Easter egg, you know, of the whole barbecue community. And Miss Tootsie just turned 90, so big deal. Man.
Big deal.
Yeah.
And then this half of the building, I mean, we plan on putting more taxidermy up. That's in the process. Those are Euro mounts of ours.
Yeah, those are actual deer that we shot.
Yeah, that we've shot, so...
but we're big hunters, and we have a lot of friends around here that are, and so our javelina up there in the market too. We got that one in South Texas. And I think any good respectable barbecue joint should have some good old PDT, as Clay Newcomb would like to say, public display of taxidermy. I think kind of a homage to like the original Coopers in Llano, like out there in the hill country where they've just got a bunch of really big deer on the wall, and
that's what I want.
I love that place. I mean, like things that have inspired us, like places that have inspired us. Obviously, the Cathedral, Louis Miller. That's like they're a big reason why we've always retained the meat market style aspect of ordering. And then Luling City Market was like my favorite place growing up. In fact, we've made a copycat of their mustard sauce. It's not as good as theirs, but they're the reason why we have the mustard sauce. And then Cooper's is like the reason why we have the taxidermy, and we'll continue to grow that over the years.
We have all of the Troubadour and red dirt guitars that we've collected over the years. And on the back of the wall, we have quite famous Anthony Bourdain quote, "Barbecue may not be the road to world peace, but it's a start."
Yeah,
we want everyone to come together, have barbecue, or have a vegetarian side, whatever it may be. Come all together and fellowship over a meal. And we would love to offer that space here for you.
Yeah. Whether or not it's played out yet at this point, I mean, a lot of us in the industry know that quote. It's pretty famous, and Bourdain's inspiration to a lot of us and was early inspiration for me. Like when I was still in high school, I was a big No Reservations fan. I watched every single episode, and so he was kind of instrumental to getting my start in like my passion for, you know, the culinary world. So I remember where I was cooking. Cooking on our first pit in the Pinewood Coffee parking lot when I heard the news about Bourdain's passing. So it was his whole life was very impactful on us as a business and the industry as a whole too. I mean, everybody remembers when he went to Helberg Barbecue with Obama, and really that was sort of like the beginning of the wave of barbecue, of like craft barbecue that we're in now. So, yep, shout out Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace. And then we got our patio out here. By the way, all of the, it's not by any means an extensive plant program that we have going on here, but we have our horticulture, our house horticulturist is my mother,
his mom, yeah.
Who's a master gardener, has been. So shout out, Mom, love you, and thank you for all the plants, giving a little bit of life to the space. She's worked really hard on all this stuff, and I think it just adds a really nice touch. And so, yeah, we wanted to have a patio for the longest time, and so you can come out here and see golf or baseball on at any point in time out here, and enjoy the space and let your kids run around in the turf area. That's another feature to the property that's been very important to us, and so far has been a really successful aspect of the new spot. We're, you know, young parents. We have a 6-year-old, and we know a lot of times they kind of decide where you're going to go eat.
Yep.
And just a lot of our friends and our peers and our friends from church and just like our community, that's a very common thread around here in Waco. Waco is a very family-friendly community. It's a big reason why we decided to plant roots here. And like for our customer base, that was just something that we saw in our kind of target market. Is it's a lot of young families, and that has been something that has been very utilized since we built it, and a lot of people have thanked us for putting that there.
Even our son, if he's here at work with us and he's over being inside of there, he'll just go play out here.
Yeah.
Whether
he'll
by
either
himself
play by himself or like he'll just make new friends. Like he'll be out here by himself and he'll just play with whatever kids come out here, and it's been really sweet. So
yeah,
love that. And we decided to go with the putting green turf because we're big golf nuts, and you know, if we eventually we'll cut some holes down there and have some like putting contests or something like that. So that kind of rounds out the whole
front of house
experience.
So something that was really important to us is just reminding people, and this started back with us on Sundays. We would post on our Instagram story, how can we pray for you?
Which we still do.
Yeah. And people, we get all, you know, private responses out of that. But I want people to remember that they are prayed for and they are loved. You know, every night we pray and we thank God for all the people that come through our door, and that hopefully they enjoyed their food and the experience. But just remembering that, like, we're praying for each and every person that comes through this door, because it's the reason we're still here.
Yep.
And so I wanted to have this on the way out, that you saw that someone is praying for you.
Cool. All right. It might get a little bit crazy doing this back here as we're
Well,
as
that's
we're
why
opening.
I'm going to start in here and then end in the pit room.
Yeah.
Because this is where it's going to get crazy first.
Yeah.
Okay. So something that is new to Helberg, what are we, 3.0 at this point, is that we actually have a kitchen inside. This is the first time we've ever had a kitchen inside. And man, is it really nice right now. So we have our stove. We have big pot burners for stock, and then a nice large flat top for burgers, Brussels sprouts, steak frites, banh mi's, all the things that we can cook on here with enough space to spread everything out and not be crowded on top of each other. We also wanted to make sure we had enough fryer space. We added fries to our menu, tallow fries, but also for chicken, and because we do our smoked fried chicken, which is not breaded, but we fry it for the crispiness of the skin. But then outside of that, we have a fryer that's dedicated for the hot chicken sandwich and anything that's breaded. Because of gluten, we wanted to make sure we had a separate fryer for that. So that's why we have as many fryers as we do. And then our expo line, which we send all of our food through. Once it's done, tickets will go up and someone will run that food out with their number out to the dining room. And then back here is mostly prep and dishwashing and our small dessert station. And then back there, far corner is our kitchen walk-in. That's all, you know, veggie, dairy, fruit, that all stays back there. And then coming around as Candace is coming in with hot pans. Sorry. And now we have the pit room. And with all the toys, right? We have Walter, our 1,000-gallon Moberg. We have the one and only from Sunny. This used to be Brett's.
Yeah, we named this one PSP, Pork Steak Papa. So I'm about to hop on the line and cut meat, but this is where we cook all of our pork steaks. This is a one-of-one Moberg, so it's kind of like a museum piece in the barbecue world. Don't hit up Sonny asking him to build you one of these. He's not going to do it. We have the only one, so cry about it. But this is like my aside, like it's like the painting, the Tootsie painting, and then this pit are the two things in this restaurant that I'm like most proud of. So whenever Brett opened and I saw this thing, I was like, dude, I got to get Sonny to build me one of those. And he goes, he won't. He just built this one for me. He's never building another one. So shout out, Sonny. Love you. Thank you for building this pit. We love it. And it makes the best pork steaks in the state, in my opinion. So we do a little hybrid cook method on it. We do direct heat. We also use the firebox for indirect. This is a super unique pit, too. So for people who know pits, like I love bringing them in here and showing them the one and only direct heat Moberg. All right. Peace out. I'm going to go cut meat.
You're good.
I'm going to give this to you.
And so we also have this burn barrel right here, which is from Harold Pitmasters. This was also something we got from Brett, just to use to burn coal beds and then shuffle all the coals around to the pits instead of burning everything in the fireboxes, bringing that temp up. We get to do it all in here safely. And then last but not least, we have our two M&M barbecue rotisseries. What those guys are doing is absolutely amazing, and we love these pits. They've been great for saving on wood and just the capacity to cook in them right now. So we are very thankful to have both of these big boys in here and serving up the barbecue that we do. Last, we also have our two walk-ins. That's all meat walk-in, so it's, you know, all the raw products that come in. And then in here, kind of inspired by Dozier's, is a sausage room. It's a little cold in here, but we can make it quick. We have our Hobart grinder. And then right behind you is a bandsaw, which we got from Dozier's as well. And then we have back here our Lucky Linker. Shout out to Russell Regals for the recommendation. This is very helpful. We love this. And then this is a double chamber vacuum sealer for vacuum sealing all of our sausage and whatever meats we need done. So this room always stays this cold for sausage making, and kind of reminds me of when you go to like restaurant stores, you got to wear a jacket to come in. That's usually me in here. Here's your to-go pickles. We want to thank y'all for joining us on a tour of Helberg Barbecue and ending it right here at the block where it all first started.
This one is the yellow.